What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name's Arie, and today what I want to talk about is how to scale when you have a low budget. Now, one concern that almost nobody ever thinks about or addresses is if you have a low budget, how can you scale a product with Facebook ads if you don't have enough money to cover product costs or to cover scaling at all, right? Shopify pays you in 4 to 7 days, and a lot of your orders will be paid through credit cards and not PayPal, so you can't take your money out right away. How can you actually scale, right? And that's exactly what we're gonna talk about today. And honestly, we're just gonna dive right into it. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome to my computer. Now, as you can see, I have my ad account here pulled up for my current store that I'm working on. Now, this store, as you can see, is scaling in March very consistently, and this is exactly what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to be as cost effective as possible and as profitable as possible so that I can continue to reinvest into this particular store, which is now basically a brand. Now, February was really rough, right? We had Chinese New Year, and we had a whole bunch of events that caused me to really not want to spend too much on ads so that I don't lose money, right? And just continue to keep things profitable. But now that it's March, things are getting better, and I'm starting to take advantage of that, right? My stock is going to get in the US in mid-March, so I'm starting to get my numbers all ready to go to continuously scale. And real briefly here, my goal for this brand for this month is 10 to 15,000 in net profit. As you can see, we're scaling back up. Yesterday we had a $1,000 day and we netted $400 in profit. Today I'm looking to do the same thing and then consistently keep it at 1 to 2K a day every single day. With 30 to 40% profit margins. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, as you can see, today's going really well, and as you can see, for so far this month, we've spent about $1,300 on ads, so almost a 3x return on ad spend, which is really good. And I know I have a lot of different campaigns here. There's no filters or anything. But the reason why I have so many campaigns is because I've been segmenting everything by traffic and just different creatives. It's a little complicated. I'll make a separate video about that if you want me to some other time. But for now, I just want to show you basically how you can actually scale with a low budget, because that's how I've been treating this brand. I'm treating it almost if I didn't have other money, right? If I didn't have money from previous stores. I want this to be its own thing, its own independent brand, and growing it from scratch, because obviously I want to use this as an example in the future to teach you guys and stuff like that, because I want to eventually sell this as a brand once it reaches 7 figures, of course. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that real quick so that you know that this process works. What I'm about to tell you is really something that you should be considering, and as you can see, the proof is in the pudding. Everything has been going extremely amazingly. And I'm really excited for this brand, of course. Like I said, we've been netting about 10K profit every single month. This month, I'm trying to take it up to 15K profit. And then once we get the stock in, we're going to push it to 6 figures a month. And it's going to be incredible. And I cannot wait. Especially for the summertime, it's just really going to kill it. But that's sort of what gave me the idea for this particular video, because a lot of people have this misconception that scaling is a requirement. You need to scale your business, right? And of course, if you scale your business, you will make more now. But one thing that I've been preaching a lot lately is to start being more cautious about your customers, right? So like I said, the main problem we have here is that you don't get paid by Shopify for 4 to 7 days. So how can you cover product costs and scaling if you don't have any money saved up, right? Or if you have very little money saved up? Well, as I said, scaling is not a requirement, right? It's not a requirement. It's something that you can do to make more money, but if you can't do that right now, then don't, right? It's a marathon and not a sprint, and I'm gonna tell you one of the best ways to scale for not only for low budget people, but just in general, guys, to really have a good grasp on your business, because one of the biggest mistakes I've made in the past is scale the business super fast. I'm like, man, I'm making so much money right now, and then 3 months later, it completely dies out because we just couldn't handle that sort of volume. the product wasn't as good as I expected, like the shipping times were a little bit delayed. So there's so many complications when it comes to drop shipping at scale. And one thing that I want to say real quick that goes hand in hand with this right here, how to get consistent results without scaling big, is trust me guys, especially those of you that are scaling or seeing success, there's nothing more stressful than scaling a super bad quality product really big. And the reason why I say that, guys, is because the customer service is a nightmare. And honestly, it just doesn't feel good, honestly. It just doesn't feel good inside to sell products like that people are just completely hating, and you're just kind of capitalizing on it. And obviously, I'm not here to judge, guys. I've done this multiple times. We've all sold products that in the back of our minds, we know is not that great of a product, and we're still selling it because it's making money and it's selling well. It's totally fine. But I will say that in order to build something long-term, you have to pick a good quality product. And that's a big way in which you're gonna get consistent results. If you guys saw my last brand update, that I showed you, we did 30K in revenue, but pulled in about 11K in net profit. Guys, that's a normal dropshipping store to do those sort of numbers. They'd probably have to do 60K in revenue in order to pull in 11K in net profit. And that's literally probably 6 times the amount of orders because our average order value is big. So that means there's so many customers that you're just not taking care of. So I personally like this approach that I'm showing you here, which is just like slow scaling. I personally love the slow scaling approach because it really allows you to get a grasp on your business and handle the customer service to its best extent, right? Like to really talk to your customers. For example, for us, one of the things that helped us see good returns so far and just to be so profitable, right? Like we're really, really profitable for our revenue, and there's so much scaling potential here, right? But I haven't scaled it because I'm not shipping from the US yet, and not all our products are customized to my brand. And that's something that I really want to have in place in order to really push this brand out, right? I want to lay out the foundation perfectly to really scale it. So finding a good product, this will save you so many headaches. And if you find a product that works and is also really good quality, that's a match made in heaven, guys. So look for good products only. If you have a low budget or trying to scale something with a really low budget, look for good products. You're going to get less returns. The customer service is going to be easier, and that's all positive things. And like I said, there's nothing more stressful than scaling a bad product, guys. This is something that I just really want to stress to you guys. So just make sure, and there's nothing wrong with scaling a bad product if you just want to make money now. But like I said, if that's what you're doing, then make sure you start at least planning something else that is more long-term, right? So a more long-term solution, a more long-term dropshipping store, so that you can actually grow a tangible asset, right? Like a dropshipping store selling a bad product, that's not an asset, that's a cash flow business. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you should try to build an asset as well that kind of grows as an investment, right? The more you work on it, the more revenue you get, the more profit you get, the more customers you get. Since it's an asset, it'll grow and grow in value. And hopefully that allows you to understand a little better why I'm doing this, right? So with a low budget, the best way to scale is just by taking it really slow and having a really good product and really good customer service. You need good customer service to scale. And here's one thing that I will say, guys. One of my favorite scaling strategies is, of course, just scaling horizontally, which means only creating new assets and not scaling any existing assets. And I know that sounds kind of weird. It sounds counterintuitive, but at the end of the day, guys, you have to understand that all scaling is increasing your ad spend. And if you're going to increase your ad spend, the best way to do it, in my opinion, if you have a low budget, is to just find new winning audiences and let the existing winning audiences just continue to get you sales at lower budgets. For this level of scaling, all I've done is created 1 to 2 new ad sets per campaign every single day at $10 a day. I don't scale anything, and now I am going to start implementing some CBO just to take this to 2K a day soon. And like I said, this isn't a video for that. I'll make a separate video of that. If you are interested, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm just creating ad sets, building a huge army of winning ad sets that are consistent, right, and that are bringing me profits every day. And just to show you, yesterday, for example, like March 4th, like I said, we did $1,000 a day, we spent only $300 on ads, guys, and our product cost was about $300. So we netted $400 in pure profits. And like I said, that's my goal for this month. I want to continue to scale this at this level, just very manageable. This is super manageable, guys. Like, it's so stress-free to keep your store at this level while you build a foundation. So just keep that in mind, and especially if you have a low budget, scaling is not a requirement. You don't need to scale big. It's better to scale slowly so that you can really grow your business, not only in terms of ad spend, but as an actual business, right? Like getting a better, training your customer service person more, posting more on your Instagram, answering to every single comment on your ads, right? Like having a conversation with people. These are all things that you just never do if you're just scaling super big, because you just don't have time, right? And of course, if the product is also really bad, then that's just a bad combination, and you will make money now, but it won't last long. So just keep that in mind, guys. I just wanted to talk about this really quickly because I know a lot, because I've actually been getting this question a lot lately. It's like, Arie, how does this even make sense, right? How am I supposed to scale? And I realized that it's because people have this idea that you need to scale your product, right? Like you just need to for some reason, but you don't. Like you really don't. It's better to just keep it at a consistent level by creating new ad sets. You always have to create new ad sets, though. That's a requirement. Like I always make at least one new ad set per campaign every day. But it's a marathon, guys, that will compound over time, and you will get higher revenue levels as you increase your ad spend slowly. So keep that in mind. If you have only like $1,000 in the bank account and you found a winning product, don't scale it so big because you're not going to be able to handle it, right? Just scale it slowly, build up your cash flow. Like I said, work on other areas of your business besides just the ads. Maybe even test new creatives or whatever it may be. But scaling is just not a requirement. But guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just really wanted to briefly talk about this to just share a little bit of what I'm doing and just my mindset on all this stuff right now. And of course, just to give you some advice, since I know a lot of the people that follow my YouTube are not necessarily super successful yet, or or maybe do have low budgets and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to talk about this. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you give me a thumbs up on this video. That lets me know that you liked it. Of course, video suggestions are always welcome in the comments, and anything that you want to say. I answer all comments, guys. I actually set like some time every single day to answer my comments on my YouTube channel. Just make sure you're not asking me like a crazy long question, because that takes a little bit too long. But that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you check out my previous video. That one's super value packed as well, so make sure you check that out. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Nike's on my feet, keep my sight